Welcome to Breaking Ties, a new you after divorce. This is your go-to source for practical advice and support for when the divorce process has finished. Join us each weekday for a quick chat where we'll cover a variety of topics related to post-divorce. Together, we'll explore the emotional, financial, and legal aspects of life after divorce and help you find the best path forward for you and your family. Here's your host and Certified Divorce Financial Analyst professional, Mike Fulkerson.
Hello, and welcome to this episode of Breaking Ties, a new you after divorce. I'm your host, Mike Fulkerson, financial advisor and certified divorce financial analyst professional. And today I'm winding down the series on Mike's relationship series. And hopefully you've been listening to it all week and you've been getting some really good content from that. And today is no different. Today's kind of like being in the right headspace. And I say that because we are done with the divorce. And being in the right headspace, there's a lot to it. It encompasses a lot. It's not just self-care. It's not just moving on. It's that and more. Because in the end, we are now in the position to start building and working on ourselves. I mean, you look back at the relationship you just had. What were the pros? What were the cons? What I liked? What I didn't like? What do I want to carry into the next relationship? And it's one of those things where you want to get yourself right. You want to be centered. You want to have all the pieces within you lined up. So when you decide to maybe date or find that next individual, you are in the best place you can be so that, and hopefully they are, and then you can build a relationship for both of you together out of that. And it's really hard though, because you might still be struggling with the fact that you're no longer married and the relationship didn't go where you wanted it to be. Even if you're just dating somebody, you might be like, wow, that really didn't work out. I don't know, let me look at why. Let me take a look back at some of the sequence of events. Sometimes it's yours, things you could have done, could have changed. Both of you together could have changed things. Other times it just seems like, hey, this is where the relationship was meant to go and end, and it just was the right thing at the right time, and now you're looking for something else. But there's other pieces that can come into this. You could have a loss of focus and a lack of motivation, as you try to sort through, what happened in your life and the failed relationship that you just had and you're coming out of. And that's okay. That's pretty common. I can't imagine, everybody gets through this without some kind of like challenging thoughts and processes. But in the end, you got to power through. It may not be right at the beginning, but at some point you got to pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and you got to move forward. And that's, comes down to just how do you process? How much time do you need? Who do you need to talk to? Do you need a therapist? Do you need friends? Do you need family? Who is it? How can you do it? Do you have to journal? What does it? And then what did you give up during the relationship? Most people sacrifice and compromise something. Maybe it's a more important piece to you than you realized at the time, and you get back to being yourself. So there's a lot that goes into being yourself and building the next best version of you. So when you sit down and do all these pieces, take it with a grain of salt. There's a lot, and then you might have to do some reshuffling, and you might look at it from a different angle, and finally things will line up, and you'll get through to the end. But in the end, we never really stop growing. You're still going to pick up things. You're still going to try things. You're going to do stuff. And, hopefully it makes us better people and well rounds us. All right. That's going to do it for this episode. I thank you for joining me on this episode of Breaking Ties, a new you after divorce. If you need anything, reach out to me, call, email, happy to help. And as always, I like to, hope that you're doing well and wish you the best.